My journey across four West African countries in just 1 week. I was introduced to a rich blend of cultures, lifestyles, and unforgettable experiences. My first stop, Benin Republic. And honestly, it was nothing short of amazing. Though French is the official language, communication was never a barrier. The people of Benin are incredibly welcoming, warm, friendly, and always ready to help. There's a calm, peaceful vibe in the air, and for anyone looking for an affordable yet memorable vacation, Benin offers real value. One of the first things that stood out for me was the transportation system. You'll find more bikes and cars zipping through the street with ease. Interestingly, many of them buy fuel from our roadside black market vendors, a common sight across the country. Despite that, the roads are well structured, neat, and surprisingly organized. But what really took my breath away were the beaches. Benin's coastline is stunning, with views that could rival any tropical destination. I had the chance to visit some remarkable places. At the top of my list was a statue of the Amazon, a powerful and majestic monument that I simply couldn't look away from. Then there is the longest gravity wall in Africa, an ongoing marvel that keeps growing as more is added. I also spent some time in Casa de Papa, a serene resort with jaw-dropping ocean views, and visited historical landmarks like the Door of No Return and the mystical Temple of Piton, or you can say Temple de Piton in Ouida. There are so many other places worth exploring in Benin Republic, but this one truly stood out for me. From culture to history, nature to hospitality, Benin gave me the beautiful start to my West African adventure. After an unforgettable experience in Benin Republic, my next stop was Togo, and honestly, it felt like stepping into a familiar yet uniquely different world. Togo shares a lot in common with Benin. They speak the same language, have similar beach landscapes, and even a comparable transportation system dominated by motorbikes. However, there are some distinct differences that gave Togo its own special charm. Surprisingly, I found that quite a few locals in Togo speak English, which made communication easier than I expected. And one thing that truly caught my attention was the cleanliness of Lomé, the capital city. The streets were spotless. It actually blew my mind. Like in Benin, you would also see fuel being sold on the black market, which is part of a daily life here. But overall, I was impressed by how well structured and organized the city felt. Togo is slightly more expensive than Benin, but still affordable and definitely worth a visit. It's a place that proves one thing: never truly trust what the media tells you. Sometimes you would have to experience a country for yourself to truly understand its beauty. During my visit, I explored the Palais de Lomé, a grand historical site that offered deep insight into Togo's colonial past and the history of the palace itself. I also visited the Sacred Heart Cathedral, the most iconic church in Togo, a beautiful piece of architecture and an important symbol of faith for many. While Togo doesn't have as many tourist destinations as Benin, the few attractions it offers are rich in history, culture, and meaning. It's a peaceful, welcoming country that left a lasting expression. My third stop on this West African journey was Ghana. And from the moment I arrived, it honestly felt like home. Nigeria and Ghana are like siblings living in different houses, separated by borders, but deeply connected by culture, music, food, and shared history. The atmosphere in Ghana was incredibly warm and welcoming. It wasn't just the place, but the people. Truly some of the kindest and most hospitable I have met, even compared to other countries I visited, and yes, even Nigeria. Ghana is often regarded as one of the safest countries in Africa, and I can confidently say it's true. I felt that safety, I felt love, and one thing that stood out was just how much Ghanaians love Nigerians. There's a strong sense of brotherhood that runs deep. The roads in Ghana were another highlight, well structured with street lights that actually work, clean and organized, a joy to experience. Ghana also has so many destinations to explore, and though my time was limited, I was lucky to visit a few iconic spots. One of them was the Independence Square in Accra, a powerful symbol of Ghana's freedom, built to commemorate the country's independence in 1957. I was also fortunate to be in Ghana during their independence celebration, with Ghanaian flags flying proudly across the city, a moment filled with pride, unity, and joy. But the most emotional part of my journey was in Cape Coast, where I visited the historic Cape Coast Castle. Walking through that castle, I could feel the pain, the sorrow, and the strength of our ancestors who suffered under colonial rule. It was a sobering, unforgettable experience, one that made me reflect deeply on our history. My time in Ghana was nothing short of incredible. It gave me a real sense of belonging, of connection, and reminded me why traveling is one of the best decisions I have made this year. My final stop on this West African adventure was Ivory Coast, a country I had high expectations for. In fact, that's why I saved it for last. And in many ways, Ivory Coast didn't disappoint. It's one of the most organized and well-structured countries I have seen in West Africa, with some of the best road transportation system I have experienced. If you have ever heard it called the Paris of Africa, trust me, it makes sense once you're there. But despite the beauty and structure of the country, I must be honest, I wasn't very impressed with the people. They seemed a bit hostile and less open to other cultures or languages, which made the experience feel slightly disconnected. That said, I still enjoyed my time in Abidjan. At one point, I got lost while trying to find my hotel, mainly due to the language barrier. But just when I felt stuck, I ran into some fellow Nigerians, and they helped me get back safely. A reminder that wherever you go, your people will always find you. Ivory Coast didn't really feel similar to other French-speaking countries I visited. Aside from sharing the same currency, the culture, vibe, and even lifestyles were quite different. I spent time exploring Abidjan, a city with some impressive skyscrapers and modern infrastructure. However, when it comes to tourist destinations, I didn't find many places to visit, at least not within the short time I had. One notable stop was the zoo, which was crowded and full of energy, but also showed just how much locals enjoy weekend outings. Unfortunately, due to the detour from getting lost, I couldn't explore as much as I planned, so my time in Ivory Coast ended quicker than expected. Maybe I missed something. If you have ever been to Ivory Coast and discovered more hidden gems, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to go back and explore it better. So, out of the 4 countries I visited, Benin Republic, Togo, Ghana, and Ivory Coast, which one is your favorite place to visit in West Africa? Let's talk in the comment section. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. My name is Scott Pierce, and I will see you in the next video.